dived a fair amount over these past few years, but sometimes on these dive trips the stars just align, and that's exactly what happened with this one. Clear water, amazing scenes, and big crayfish. To top it off, the guys over at DIVETECH hooked me up with an amazing new set of gear, so as I jumped in, I was fully kitted out and ready to get into it. In my last few videos, if you saw them, all my gear broke, so this was a very welcome treat, the new kit. I'm just warming up here with a few shallow drops, as usual, just getting my bearings and familiarizing myself with this new spot. And it's just looking like great terrain, nice bouldery, rocky terrain for crays, and the reef was surprisingly busy with fish for a cold winter's day. First thing I run into here is a pair of leather jackets. This one's nice and lit up, looking cool. Another one off to the side here. Quite good eating apparently, but not for me, just a bit too friendly to shoot. Being winter and all, it was not long before I got onto the first cray of the trip. This kind of terrain, if you are out diving looking for crays, under kelp is always a great place to look. So there's a small pack horse here, nowhere close to legal, but a great sign. I keep exploring, creeping over a few ledges here. No luck on the snoop, as always, but as I swam out a bit further, found this really cool looking area with this kind of white tropical looking sand and with these huge rock structures, big reefs which just ended the sand, so that was really cool to see. You can see the kelp here swaying in the current, and it's just such a pleasure to dive in conditions like this. One of the big benefits of water this clear is that you can spot things like red moki from the surface tucking into their caves and hideouts. So in this spot here, I'm just diving down and having a look under these ledges, and these are perfect. These large overhangs, boulders with spaces under them. It's looking very promising, so I'm just working my way up here, but not seeing much. There is this big school of these big eye, these cave fish, which are always nice to see. Good sign of crays as well, but nothing here. But massive school of these, which was quite cool to see. I just keep swimming around and taking in some of the awesome scenes underwater. This particular spot had some really cool underwater landscapes. I turn my head here and see a pigfish cruising by, which was actually on the menu for today, but just couldn't get my body in the right position, so didn't want to risk a shot that injured the fish, so just left him. Shortly after is when things got real interesting, and this is basically my big yarn about how I got my big cray, so stick around. This crack here between these two huge boulders was the one where the big dog was hiding. So I'm just going down here to have a quick scout, and I can see the feelers of some small pack horse sticking out of there. So I know it's definitely worth having a further look. I recently got a new dive torch, which I'd been told were game changers. So just grabbing it out here, and having this torch definitely was the only reason that this trip produced anything. So heading back down, strapping the torch onto my wrist, and going to investigate. As I shine the torch in, I can see there are so many crays just packed in. The ones at the front here are packles, so not legal, but as I work my way around this crack that goes up and over the boulders, there's some reasonable reds in there and one good one, real good one, sitting at the bottom. So head up to the surface and get ready to drop back again.
Nice red down there. It's just a matter of seeing if I can actually reach him. It's quite far in, but we'll see what we can do.
going down again, I'm just scouting the surrounding area to see if there's an easier access point. That one from the top wasn't the easiest, it was quite deep. So I'm just checking here from the side to see if I can get in. Doesn't look like it though, so from the top it is. And as I look in from this angle, I can definitely see there's a nice good one in there. Lots of reds, but that big one there, big buck, you can see his killer claw there. That's the target. He didn't have much room to go back. He looked like he was way against the back. So I figured I'd try and reach in, but it was just too deep for me. Short arms. So I had to come up with something a bit more creative because I couldn't let this one pass.
Alright, that's too deep for my body. So, I'm gonna have to come up with something a bit more creative. Maybe the spear gun trick that I discovered a while ago.
Just to be clear here, I don't mean using the actual spear gun. What I mean is taking the spear out and using it to nudge the crays to the side. It's an important distinction because, yeah, stabbing crays is very illegal, so it's not what we're doing here. And while I'm planning this mission with the spear, I'm looking around the surrounding area to see where he might go if he does get pushed out. And there's a couple of holes there, but none are too deep. So I'm hoping that he will be pushed out of that crack and swim down there. So armed with the spear and torch, I send it down for a 6th time. It took about 8 drops to get this guy out, but this is my first go with the spear. And holding the torch with one hand, spear in the other, I'm trying to line the spear up with the flopper out, the barb, to act like a hook behind his tail, so I can have a bit of leverage and push him forward, to force him to crawl forward. So that's just what I'm having a go at here. And again, a very important distinction, I'm not stabbing, I'm just pushing to the side. So no stabbing here. So I keep going with that, and his claws are locked into the rock, but eventually I am able to get him to move a little bit, which is a good sign. He's going closer to the exit of that crack. So we're making progress, slowly but surely. So I didn't get him as far enough as I wanted, so back to the surface again, and making a plan to get back down there. So, drop number 7. Here we go. Same routine as before. Torch, spear, and trying to push that guy out as best I can. I'm getting a bit nervous here because the harder this gets, the more I think that maybe it's not possible, but hey, just gotta persist in these situations. Sorry about the kelp, it was getting in the way of the camera, but eventually I do get the hook behind his tail and I'm lifting him upwards and forward, and he's crawling off to the side there. Then I'm using it to nudge him along even further, and this time it looks like he's running out and kind of boosting forward. It looks like I've disturbed him enough, but I'm running out of breath, so come up to the surface and make my way back down. While I was up there, I saw that he had actually left the crack and tucked around the corner just like I thought, and here I am now going down and have a look, and luckily he was just around the corner there and I was finally able to get a hand to him. So I get to the surface and I'm super happy. That was so satisfying. By far my most involved cray grab to date. There he is there, trying to use his killer claw to rip into the wetsuit, which is fair enough considering. But yeah, super stoked and real happy with that. A big effort, but paid off in the end. I do get pretty worked up and excited every time I grab one of these big ones. But yeah, just get a good look at him and get him ready to chuck the flatboat.
That's a nice crayfish. Oh. Jeez, it's pretty heavy. Oh, that was a bit of a miss. It was a gamble trying to push him out with that, with the spear, but yeah, he just ran out and tucked away in an easily accessible little hole, and yeah, got him.
So that was it, my big crayfish yarn. Just swimming him over here, chucking him in the float boat and getting a bit of footage of him against this nice clear water. Still think it looks so cool. Winter diving really is probably the best in my opinion. Probably because I'm such a big fan of crayfish. It was a bit of a struggle to get him in the float boat, and there he is kicking around in there, but yeah, get him secured and lock that cover down.
Oh, that was well worth the effort. Stoked to that.
Even after that chaotic hunt, I still managed to find some time afterwards to just enjoy being in the ocean. Having achieved the goal for the day, it was nice to just take some time and relax and just explore without that pressure. Definitely a special trip and one to remember. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. It's awesome to know there's people out there who are watching these and enjoying them, I hope. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully sometime soon. Cheers guys.